Hey, what's going on guys, Bobo here. Today I'm gonna show you how to do some realistic lighting for a character, more of a shadow I mean. And yes, on this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to do this right here, the lighting, pretty much the darkness around your character, make it more realistic, make it fit with your background. Yeah. Let's get started. It's actually pretty simple. It shouldn't be too long of a tutorial, so bear with me, it shouldn't be too long. So here I'm gonna delete this because I've already made it before to show you what I'm gonna end up with. So this is only 2 layers so far, but as you can see it's already pretty realistic if you think about it. There's only a lighting layer and a shadow layer on your character, and it already looks a lot better than simply putting your character right here with no editing and just put it on your background. So let's get started. I'm gonna delete this real quick, and that is what you should start with when you start a wallpaper or any pictures pretty much. You're gonna start with your wallpaper or your background here, and then you're gonna have your character model on top of it. And then this layer I can delete it, but it's just a recolor I guess of my character model. It was a little bit too bright. I just decreased the vibrance or the saturation I mean of my character layer here, so don't bother with this, it's nothing important. And yeah, so that's what you should start with, the background and then your character, and then over it would be your lighting, which I'm going to show you how to do in a second. So what I do is that I put my pictures in folders so that you don't lose them. It's all up to you. As you can see in this, I used to not use a lot of groups, and it was really messy, so that's what I do now. I just use a lot of groups, I name them, and it's easier to find yourself when you want to edit something like one layer in a wallpaper if you make a lot of layers like me. But anyway, let's get to the lighting. So you're gonna create a new layer. So you can create this above everything else, and then you're gonna group it. So you're gonna hit Control and G while selecting your layer, obviously, and that should create a new group. Or you can go down here and create a new group, and you're gonna name it character lighting. Doesn't matter what you name it, you can call it lighting, shadow, whatever you want. I just like to call it character lighting because usually in this group I don't do only one thing. You know, I do some shadow, and then on top of it I do some lighting from the background. You know, I draw some lights in the background on top of my character to make it look like there's some light coming out of like a hole like this. Can show you what I mean. So there you go. You know, I'm adding some light like this, and yeah. Alright, so on this new layer you just created, you're gonna draw the shadow. So make sure you select a black color. Just use black, don't use gray or whatever, or dark black. Just reduce the opacity if you want the shadow to be, you know, more visible or less visible or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, open your character group here, and make sure that you see your character screenshot here. And on this character screenshot, you're gonna hit Control and left click on this little thumbnail here. So now my character is outlined, and then I can draw on top of it. And then make sure you select your new layer that you just created to draw your shadow on top of your character. So basically all I'm gonna draw on this layer will be in this selection only, which is my character layer. Alright, so what you're gonna do is gonna take a brush, and I use a pretty big brush to draw the shadow. And if I want to go into more details, I create a new layer and do some more detailed and darker shadow on top of it. I can show you later in this tutorial what I mean by that, but let's first do a overall shadow of the character to make it more realistic and fitting. So here obviously there's going to be light around my my character like this. Around here there's going to be light because the background is really bright. But in the middle here, I'm going to draw some shadow like this. I'm just going to go around. You don't have to fill everything. You just have to go around like this and do some shadow like this, and then you can take an eraser and just erase wherever you think there might be some light. So it's really abstract, it's nothing precise yet, but this is only the first layer. But you can only do one. Sometimes I'll just do one layer. There's no point in making a second layer. And yeah, so pretty much what you're gonna do is just play around with the size of the brush. So if you draw on the arms like this, obviously you're gonna need a smaller brush because there's gonna be light hitting around here and on the arms and around here. So I'm gonna take a small brush to, you know, give it like a fade look here. Like there's shadow but not everywhere, just gives it a little bit more realistic feel to it. And same thing over here. And that's it. I might erase it a little bit here. It's pretty much perfect. Except maybe a little bit darker here. There you go. So that's pretty much it for the first layer. Now you may think that it doesn't look like much, and I agree with you, but it's all in the opacity of your layer. You're gonna go on top here and you're gonna reduce it to, depends, it always depends on the lighting of your character and the lighting of your background. It can be 90%, you can reduce it to like 20% if you want, it doesn't matter, it always changes. So don't do exactly, don't copy my settings here. I'm gonna reduce it to, you know, it's always the taste too. If you want to make it darker, you know, you could make it like 70%. It's really dark and it still fits, or you can make it like 46%, and you know, there's still like an effect to it. So whatever you want. I like it pretty dark. So there you go. 70%. It's pretty cool. I like that. It's really dark, gives a cool feel to it. It really feels like there's nothing, or there's something in front of the character. You know, there's just like a wall or some other mountains or whatever, and you know, it gives a more realistic feel to it. So then you can add some more precise shadow by creating a new layer, and then making it like 80%, so it's slightly darker than your first shadow. And then you're gonna do the same process. You're gonna outline your character layer, and then you're gonna draw. And you know, I don't know if I would make a second layer here, to be honest, because I really like the shadow right now, the way it looks. But you know, you can always do it. So why not? So I'm gonna draw here. You know, give like a little like extra realism to the whole shadow thing. So here, as you can see, you know, there's like shadow here, but it's dark at the bottom because it's even darker inside the shoulder. So you know, that's what I use it for. You can do it like this, do it like this around here, and you know, just add some more shadows in the cracks here. You know, here, like in the interior of the shoulder would be really dark, so you know, make like an outline of it. Same thing here. And then you can always reduce the opacity, so like it still looks dark but doesn't look completely dark. In the end, right here, there you go. Alright, so you get the idea pretty much. And then you're gonna reduce it a little bit. You know, like even if it's 1% darker, or just like 10%, it's still gonna be darker than your other shadow because it's on top of your other shadow. So it's gonna be black on black, which adds like it's like an extra 10% to your layer opacity here for your first shadow. So you know, your opacity here is 70%, but whatever you add on top of it, it's gonna be like another 100% shadow if it's 100% like opacity. So you know, reduce it considerably, or still you can use it like completely at 100% opacity if you want to make something pitch black. But usually I just want to darken it a little bit more, so I'm gonna add a 40% maybe opacity. So as you can see, it adds a little bit more realism. Maybe I'd retouch it a little bit, maybe erase the hand, or well, actually it kind of looks cool. It gives some cool lighting effects here. Like it feels like it's really glowing here, the light is really hitting the glove, and you know, sometimes you're gonna get surprised like that. It's gonna really look a little more realistic just from a simple shadow layer. So yeah, just play around with it. You can always go back and erase it. You can modify it whenever you want. You can change the opacity if you think it's too dark or too bright, you know. So have fun with it, and then you're pretty much done. So that's pretty much it for your shadow, for the shadow tutorial and how to do it. In the next tutorial I can give you a little sneak peek of what I'm gonna show to you. I'm gonna show you how to do some lights to add even more realism to your shadow layer. So I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm not really gonna explain what I'm doing. It's really easy actually, but there's a million things to do, and a million ways to do it or to do them. So I'm not gonna bother explaining to you yet what I'm doing, but pretty much it's just adding lights around the character, color to increase the realism of the shadow you just draw. It's cool that you add shadow, but if there's no light or real big light source to make sure that people get the idea of why your character is so dark, well, it's pretty much like an opportunity that's wasted there. So just make sure that if you draw lighting effects, draw shadows, and the same thing, if you draw a shadow, make sure you draw some lighting effects with it or some light source, because otherwise it looks good with it could look even better with a really small amount of effort. So there you go. Looks a lot better already. So I'm just gonna make them in a group and show you the before and after. So it's a before and after. Already you have pretty much like 1/2 or a little bit less than a wallpaper that's made. All you have to do now is draw the effects, add some colors, maybe some spells or whatever to your character, and you have a full wallpaper. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If I was unclear on certain points, let me know in the comment. I just want to improve on my tutorials, so just don't hold back, just let me know and I'll do better in my next tutorial. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section too, or you can always talk to me on Facebook. I always answer on Facebook ASAP, or I try to. But yeah, talk to me on Facebook if you have any question in the comment section, or on Twitter, and I'll make sure to get back to you. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So I'll see you guys in my next video, or my next tutorial. So peace.